Okay, hello everyone. So in this short tutorial, we will use Microsoft Access to create a database in it and then create two tables in it, and also use SQL to query those tables. So let's simply create, so I am in MS Access, right? It is a Microsoft product, so it should be there on your systems. I'm simply going to go into the Create tab and I'm going to say create a table inside the database. So database name is mydb3.accdb, and in that I'm creating a table. So this table is a student table. ID is auto incremented. So I'm going to say here this is a student name. So F name is the field name. The type is so the first name, F name. Okay, the second attribute is again type short text and it is L name. So John, Barry, and another one is a number because it is age, so it is a number and I'm storing it as 20. Now I will have another record, so let's say Rachel M, and the age is 21. I'm gonna have another one called Sarah Jones, 19. And here I will have another ID called course ID, and I'm gonna say we will fill it later on. So let's just save this table. This is table 1. The name of the table is student with the student details. Okay, so now I have saved this table. You can see it in the navigation pan on the left hand side that the table is saved. Now to create another table in Access, I'm going to go create table, and now this is my table called course. So I'm going to have here networking, and this is the field is course name, and then I will have here course code. It's a short text, course or course ID, not to get course code, iTech 521, and another one I will have academic year, when is it offered, and also lecturer who is teaching it. Cancel. So academic year, fall 2020, and this one is the lecturer name. So let's say this one is taught by X, and this is lecturer. Okay, so there's another course. So this is a course table. Let's have one more record, information technologies. Information technologies, ID is, or course code is iTech 230. It is offered in spring 2021, and the lecturer is Y. Right, so I have two records for my, now let's save this table. So save, and this is now table as course. So if you see now in the left hand side, I have two tables here, the student and the course. Okay. Now let's say that student John takes the ID 2 here. So meaning he's enrolled in the course of information technologies, and the rest one are enrolled in networking technologies. Okay. So this way I'm adding the course ID to the student ID, and I will save it. Now if you want to link these tables, we can also look at the design of these tables. So if we go here and we look at the design view, we will be able to see that we are in student. ID is auto number, auto incremented, meaning it increments by itself. There are no duplicates allowed and no null value allowed. And then we have short text for first name, last name, age, and ID are numbers. If we look into the course again, so this is the datasheet view. I want to look at the design view. So here is the design view where I have the field names and then their data types. Okay, similarly, ID is, we can't touch it. It is auto number. We can't remove it and we cannot make it null. And the others are just short text. Other attributes are simply short text, which are course name, code, year, and lecturer. Now let's go back to the datasheet view. And let's see if we can now create a relationship. So if we create on the, we click on the create tab, we should be able to create a relationship here. It's in the database tools tab. So if I click on the relationship, now I want to add both the tables. So I'm going to add both of my tables and then close it. So I'm creating a relationship between student and course. So one student can take many courses. Okay. So one-to-many relationship between ID and the course name. These are just simply the, you can change it, but let's just keep it this way. Okay. And then we will save it. So it's a one-to-many relationship, meaning one student can take as many courses as he wants. Okay. So yes. So now relationship is done. Now let's see if I can use queries to no. We have to go into the form, otherwise we will not be able to look here. Yes, this is what I wanted. So I wanted an SQL view. Okay, so select everything. So asterisk is if you want to select everything. So select star from students, from student, and if I say run, is already open, cannot be. Okay, so I'm gonna close this. No. Okay, I'm gonna close this. No. I'm gonna close these. And then let's go back again to my query design. And then close these and SQL view. select star from student and then run. So I should be able to see all these results from my students. Okay. Now if I say select star everything from student where ID equals to 2. So I should see only one record. So let's try that in SQL View. Select everything from student where ID equals to 2 and I run. I am seeing only one record, that is Rachel with ID 2. Okay, now let's go back again to my SQL View. Select everything from student where ID is equal to 3. So I will see only one record where ID is 3 and that belongs to Sarah. Now let's go back to the SQL View and say select everything from student where ID is equal to 3 or where student.id equals to where student dot, so let's have a look. In student we have course ID, so I'm matching the course ID of student to the course ID of course. Okay, so I'm saying where student.course ID is equal to where student.course ID is equal to course.id. And let's be careful that the wording is right. Okay, and then we can close and we should be able to run this. Why not? Oh yes. So where student.id is equal to course.id, student.course ID is equal to course.id, and if I say run, cancel, from student, comma, course. Right, so now what it has given me? It has given me all the records where student ID matches the course ID. Okay, where the course ID in the student matches to the course ID in the course table. So if I go here and if I say from student, simply, now this is a bit complex, now let's remove and do the simple thing. Select everything from student where student.course ID equals to 2 and then run. It's going to give me only 1 where course ID is equal to 2, right? So even though the ID is 1, it is giving me the result where course ID is 2 because this course ID is foreign key in this particular table. And where what we were doing before, we were joining the two tables. So to join the two tables, to extract the information from two tables, we can use here student comma course, and where we can say where student dot course ID is equal to 2. Now let's see what it will give. It's gonna again give me, so one is coming, same information, but the one is coming from the student and then the one is coming from the course, right? So in this short tutorial, we created two tables using Microsoft Access, and then we used SQL queries. We created the relationship between two tables, student and course, that was one to many, so a student can enroll in many courses, and then we used the SQL query in order to query those, in order to query those, in order to see those select statements. Okay, so thank you.